Zone C lost.
Heavy ammo inbound.
Zone C lost.
Heavy ammo inbound.
Welcome viewers, this is Winsher. Hope you enjoyed that epic introduction. Here's the character loadout I'm running with today. The Scout Rifle, the SR3SL. This is finally a weapon I've discovered in the multiplayer, in the competitive multiplayer that is the Crucible. That's what I'm trying to say. I actually found a weapon that I can do halfway decent with, and that epic kill in the beginning was just, I just had to show you guys that again in slow motion, because moments like that in this game are, I'm not going to say they're few and far between, but when they happen, they do happen fairly often enough. But it's certainly a rare beauty when you see wiping out 5 out of 6 players of the enemy team is not something you can do that often. But the supers allow you to do some pretty incredible stuff in this game. But look at this. I mean, the melee system in this. On the Titan class, I just like this class a lot. There's something about that fist punch is just very powerful, and it's a great addition, a complement to this class, particularly since my close quarters combat is lacking in this loadout in particular. For some reason, throughout the beta here, I've really struggled to find a secondary weapon like a good shotgun to really complement my close quarters combat. So that's really the Achilles heel of this loadout. So I have to rely heavily on this melee in close quarters combat. But if any of these guys got a good shotgun that shoots one shot kill, I'm in trouble. Now right here, I just had an incredible start of this match. I got the super really quick, and unfortunately, if you don't aim correctly, and I'm not sure how I didn't aim, I was looking right at those guys and engaged the super, but somehow it went 90 degrees off to my right, and I failed to miss. I missed him miserably, and I could have easily had 2 more kills there, and that just immediately ended the red hot beginning of this match. But this match is just some highlights I'm showing you here of I'll show you both the Venus map and the Moon map. But overall, in this video I'll be discussing just how I have adapted to Destiny multiplayer now that I have a better understanding of it, talk to you guys about that, and share some of my experiences with the gameplay, because it's grown exponentially since the first time I posted a video here early in the gameplay. But unfortunately, right now the beta is down for maintenance today and tomorrow, and it comes back online I think on the 23rd of July, and then runs through I believe the 27th. And unfortunately I'll be out of town during the rest of that time, so this is all the time I will get with the beta. Had a good amount of footage to run, but I have to say, having played, ooh, and this is a bad day right here when you see them go gold, those hunters, you know this is the golden gun, and you're like, oh, game over. Insert expletive at this time. But having played this beta quite a bit, I can say I've greatly enjoyed it. I don't want to call this a review, official review, but just kind of my quick opinion of it. I've had a lot of fun in the Crucible, although I've had a lot of frustration as well. But just a quick synopsis between this and the strike missions, the single-player co-op. I have played the Crucible much more, and I have tended, which it's kind of goes against my initial interpretation of the gameplay and my experience. I was kind of saying the opposite in the beginning, that I figured Destiny was had more to bring in the co-op side of things, but I see a lot of potential in the multiplayer. I see a lot of balancing. This isn't Call of Duty. This isn't Battlefield. There's no drop shot, quick scope. You know, none of this Call of Duty type kills you see. You know, there's a lot of I guess you could say it's very competitive on here, and it's very difficult for even me having an extensive first-person shooter experience to do well. But like, that's with any game, and kind of Killzone's similar to that, as I said in the past. You guys got to invest time in this game and get to understand it and get comfortable with the movement system, because that is the worst thing about this game, the movement. When I go from Battlefield, you know, being 60 frames a second on next-gen console, to this, which is 30 frames a second, I see a noticeable difference, and it's very difficult for me to get myself acclimated to that. Sure, the game looks great, it's 1080p, but 30 frames a second's last gen, guys, and I mean, it's a huge criticism that is warranted for this game. I think it's one of the biggest drawbacks of this game. I think it will continually be one of the biggest, I mean, you just cannot be you cannot understate that enough, how important that is. Now, I'm not going to say it's game-breaking, but you do get acclimated to it like anything. You get accustomed to it, but that's not necessarily a good thing, that you're forcing yourself to get acclimated to a lower performance. And the reason that this is the case is because for some reason Bungie said they've wanted to keep the experience uniform across all platforms. I just don't buy that argument. That sounds like a cop-out to me. But all in all, I can say the more time you invest in the game, the less you will notice it. But that being said, the movement is clunky as well. The sensitivity is too low. I even have playing a max sensitivity. Oh, right here. Let's start off the moon map. Getting off the bike mid-air with the 180. As I mentioned, Call of Duty moves, right? So the 180 move. Throw out the grenade to finish off the tank that was pursuing me, or at least a driver. That was pretty epic too. Then I pull out the SR3 here. Again, devastating range at medium range. It's pretty much a 3-shot kill. Kind of lost my train of thought there, forgive me. You know, but all in all, it's like the movement could be improved. Sensitivity is too low. I think it needs to be higher. Even at max sensitivity, it's just too takes too long to turn around for me. But that's a simple fix. I mean, this is beta, guys, so I'm confident. I've heard some other people say that too, that can be resolved. Again, this game, this is a gameplay. It's 6v6. The player counts are a bit small for me, again, coming from Battlefield, but not to say there isn't enough action here. The maps are varying. There were 2 other maps I really didn't get much time to invest in. Unfortunately, I can't bring any gameplay of that because they had limited access for some reason. I have no idea why that was. Bungie thought it prudent to like announce via Twitter whenever they're opening up like the Iron Curtain or whatever it was that allowed you access to the 2 extra multiplayer maps to make it even more competitive. But I think they would have been better off just to have those maps in the rotation here, the map rotation, so we get a little more varying gameplay as opposed to just 2 maps. And at times it was just 1 map for some reason with the server rotation. But all in all, you know, running in here multiplayer, I've noticed myself improve quite a bit here recently, and that's a good thing, because I was initially pretty dismayed or withdrawn. I felt like this game may not be for me just with the competitive multiplayer. And again, that goes back to my Battlefield roots, being a little more acclimated to realistic shooters and trying to get back in here. But again, as I've said before, I'm desperate for something new. I would love to see some new gameplay and just experience some new gameplay, as well as bring you some on my channel. So I'm comfortable to say that I'm very satisfied thus far with Destiny. I think the beta's been solid, and I think it's going to be a must-buy for me. But that being said, there's been several people I've spoken to. Run Into My Knife XD was one of them, and he was mentioning that he's probably not going to buy this game. And he was struggling as well in the multiplayer. He just doesn't see this game being around for 10 years. So opinions vary. I mean, I can't say 10 years is going to be a definite possibility for this game as Bungie's come out, but I can say this game, I'm pretty confident it's worth the investment, and it's certainly going to be a solid buy. I think it's going to be a big success this year, and I think there is a lot of potential in the multiplayer. Again, we've only seen just a few maps, so we're scratching the surface here, so hopefully when the game's released and with the DLCs that come out with it as well, we'll just see some more potential, some more opportunity here. But there's skill involved here. I mean, and there is a varying range of gameplay. There's vehicle gameplay, as I'm about to show you here in the whatever you call this thing, but tank, let's just keep it simple. There's a range of weapons. I have noticed some balancing issues in the multiplayer. It took me a long time to finally get a weapon that was doing 62 damage, hitting the level cap here of 8, and that seemed to get me on a level playing field with the other level rank 8s that had the top tier weapons. However, there's still some weapons out there that are a little more rare than others, so again, the balancing aspect is questionable in my opinion when you have players running around with unique weapons that they have stumbled across and they've upgraded and unlocked, and you necessarily don't have an equal playing field just stumbling across a weapon you find on the battlefield. It's not like you equip yourself beforehand here. You run with what your main player has in the single player in the competitive multiplayer here in the Crucible section. So if you don't have an upgraded character, an upgraded weapon, you're going to be done. And that wasn't one of my initial criticisms in the gameplay, and everybody kind of made, oh, Winsher, don't you fret. There's a balancing system that goes into effect prior to each game matchmaking, and it curtails everybody's excessive advantages, and well, that's all BS, guys. I have to say, I mean, there's just bottom line, if you got a good gun, you get to keep it. The damage does what it says it does, and if you're doing 45 damage with the semi-auto, like my weapon here is a semi-auto DMR, and then there's basically a full auto version of this weapon that does the same damage. I mean, there's no question the guy that's the full auto variant of this weapon is going to have the advantage. But all in all, maybe this stuff can be balanced out. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. Please like and subscribe. Let me tell you what you guys think about Destiny. I'll have more of it to come if you want to see it. Thanks for watching.